Okay, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 53 for February 25th, 2024. We are now heading into part 5, and in part 5, traditionally, is the part of the show where I do Q&A for the super members of the channel. So thank you to the super members who support this channel, and a couple of them have asked questions this week, so let's go ahead and answer them. Question number 1. How do you reconcile your actions with your Catholic beliefs? How do you approach dealing with sins in your life? God bless. First of all, I don't think this is going to come to any surprise to anyone that I am not an active practicing Catholic. All right, I was raised Roman Catholic, meaning I went to church just regularly and on holidays. I went to parochial school when I was growing up. It was elementary school. I also went to a Catholic high school, and I even went to a Jesuit college. Now, the Jesuit college wasn't actually a big deal, but it just so happened that I just continued to go to college or schools that were like that, okay? So that being said, I was raised with a certain morality, a certain code of conduct, and how I would, conduct myself and things that I think would be right and wrong. Yes, I was taught all of the tenets and everything of, Roman Catholicism. And I did live those for a very long time. It was around the time that I was in college that I kind of had my eyes opened a little bit to the fact that there were so many religions in the world that are so similar in a lot of the ways that they think and or their moral codes, that a lot of them, the real reasons that they were different was because of like minutia, like semantics, right? This person isn't God. This person was God. This person was a prophet. This person was the son of God. No, this person really was God. This was a spirit. This was a ghost, stuff like that. So the stories are different, but the moral codes are the same. And when I saw those, I was like, how does anyone actually know what's true and what's not? And I started living my life a little bit differently. Instead of it being only in tune with that of what I knew from growing up Roman Catholic, I started actually having a more generalized worldview of how things were on the earth, but I still had those morals instilled with me, and I've kept them with me to this day, okay? There's a lot of things that people do in life, particularly on the internet with YouTube and stuff, that I just would never do. I would never make my living off of hurting others to do it. I just couldn't do it. I would genuinely hate myself if every day I came to a stream and all we're going to do today, guys, is talk bad about somebody. Did you hear that this celebrity had something bad or this YouTuber had something bad happen to them? So today we're going to wallow in that, right? And we're just going to make fun of someone all day, or we're going to report on it or whatever. I would never be able to restream someone else just to make fun of them for several hours. I couldn't do it. It's my morality doesn't allow me to do it. I grew up a certain way that I think that's morally wrong. If I'm going to make a living on YouTube, I want to do it in a way that's positive and constructive. Not I'm destroying something in order to get ahead in life. I was taught that was wrong from the get-go of my life, and I still believe that to this day. It's quite frank and obvious. A lot of people don't feel that way. A lot of people are just get ahead, any means necessary, take people down, make fun of them, make them look bad, whatever. And it doesn't matter who gets hurt in the process as long as you benefit. It's good, right? I don't believe that, but a lot of people do, okay? So that's one of the things. Like, even though I'm not a practicing Catholic, right, I still have those morals and values instilled in me growing up Roman Catholic, and I try to make those a part of who I am, all right? Regardless of the fact what I believe or don't believe about the religion that I was raised in, the fact that I have that moral code makes me stand alone and away from a lot of other people who, in this industry that I'm in right now, don't care. Like, it's funny because some people say, oh, your peers. My peers? No, I'm going to be honest. I don't consider other YouTubers my peers. I don't. I think that a lot of these people who got into YouTube, they did it for a particular reason. To get rich, to make money, to make this their occupation by any means necessary. I don't consider those people peers. Those are not my friends. Those are not my allies. Those are not people who I'm going to be successful along with. No, absolutely not. I feel like I do in a lot of ways stand very differently from other people, and I'm happy about that. I'd much rather be at the level I'm at than to be blown up but have to step on people to get there, okay? And that's where I really feel, that's how I reconcile my actions with those original Catholic beliefs. You will never see Phil Burnell, DSP, on a stream, and the entirety of the stream's purpose is to, hurt someone so that I could get personal gain out of it. Like, that's not me. I mean, most of the people who hate on me, my detractors, that's all they do all day. They sit on a restreamer stream. They sit on a fucking someone else who just, oh, it's time to riff on Phil today. What? Literally, your day is to hurt someone else to get profits. Wow. That's pretty immoral and awful. And that's something that I would not be able to reconcile with my Catholic upbringing if I were like that, and I'm not like that. All right? Now, you might say, well, in your past, you did a lot of things that could be considered immoral. You know, you did things in your commentary. You're right. It was all said in jest, and a lot of people understand that, but you're right. You know, you're really pushing the boundaries of what you could reconcile. But again, what I would like to say is the stuff that I did back then didn't hurt anyone, right? Yes, some of the commentary was risque. There was a lot of sexual references. There was a lot of gender references. There was a lot of racial references. But I wasn't targeting a certain group. I wasn't making anyone a victim of my ire. I wasn't being prejudicial. It was kind of equal opportunity joking. And if anyone did actually get hurt by my commentary, I've apologized over the years that, yeah, I now, today, as an adult, full adult in my 40s, mature, I realize that that's the kind of stuff that was not right and I should not do in the future, and I don't do anymore, right? But you can't change the past, right? But I never intended back then with the stuff that I used to do to be insulting or harmful to anyone. And again, I think that's what makes me stand apart. All right, another question here. I want to ask what you think of the Switch and Switch Lite as a gaming console and whether you'd be interested in playing more Switch games. There's a lot of sales on Nintendo Store, particularly AAA and indie titles go as low as $4. What would you warn people about with the Switch? Would you be interested in playing more Switch games? The Switch is a fine console, all right? But you're not going to be playing cutting-edge games on the Switch. The Switch is very much meant to be in line with what you expect when you buy a Nintendo console. You're going to get really great first-party titles like your Marios, your Zeldas, your Mario Karts, your Donkey Kongs, your Metroids, you know, all those synonymous games with Nintendo. You're going to get top of the line. And everything else is going to kind of be, it's all right. You're going to get a lot of shovelware. And the whole reason behind that is because, let's be honest, Nintendo consoles are not modernized with their technology. They never really have been since the era of, like, I think, GameCube was the last one. And even then, you can argue, no, the other consoles at the time, like PS2, were more powerful. Nintendo doesn't seem to be concerned with this. They're happy to push consoles for a less expensive price into the hands of consumers and just flood them with games. Whether or not the games are outstanding or meh, I don't think Nintendo really cares. I don't think that's their strategy, right? They're just looking for you to buy their first-party experiences, which always stand out, and then whatever else you do with the console is none of their concern. I almost feel like that's really what they're feeling to this day. Now, every Nintendo console has a gimmick. The Switch's gimmick is that it's a handheld, plus it's a home console. I have literally never used my Switch as a handheld. I only use it as a home console. As a home console, it's okay. It's great for first-party, and outside of that, I barely use it. Every once in a while, there's a third-party game that comes around, but most of the time, I don't bother with them because I know I'm probably going to get a superior experience on either a PS5 or Xbox Series X game than I'm going to get on a Switch, right? If there's cross-platform games, I always play them on another console. I would never actively choose to play a downgraded version on the Switch. Now, as a handheld, I've heard it's quite good. I've heard that people really enjoy using their Switches as a handheld device. That's great. But I wouldn't know anything about that because I've never done that. Now, I can tell you, immediately out of the gate, when I got my Switch, I wanted to get rid of those Joycons. The moment I got it, I was like, I got to get rid of these because they weren't good. They didn't feel like they were great controls. They had issues with sync, with battery life, with drifting thumbstick, like all these issues right off the bat. And it's hilarious that to this day, that's still what comes with it. And Nintendo doesn't really acknowledge the fact that the Joy-Cons are pretty inferior. And a lot of people immediately say, I got to get a different controller. So I've used various different controllers with my Switch. I have this Hori pad that I use. I've had the Pro controller, which is good, except the Pro controller's D-pad's faulty and always has been. So if you're going to do stuff on D-pad like a classic platformer, you kind of have to get another controller. At this point, there's a ridiculous amount of third-party controllers for the Switch, so I don't think this is an issue anymore. But I have to call it out that, yeah, the Joy-Cons have always kind of sucked, and I don't know why Nintendo thought that was their solution to a control scheme. I really don't like the Joy-Cons at all right? So, Switch overall is a decent console for if you're into first-party stuff. you know, you're going to love all the first-party games. Nintendo does not disappoint with its first-party experiences. The only thing I can complain about is the performance of Pokemon recently. The Pokemon games have really started to degrade to the point where Scarlet and Violet ran so poorly on the Switch. It was embarrassingly bad. And then, by the way, went on to be the best-selling Pokemon game. So I don't really think they're going to improve if people just keep buying it anyway. But outside of that, if you like all the Nintendo franchises, the Switch is a fine console for that, right? Outside of that, if you like a portable system, people have praised it, but I couldn't really tell you because I haven't actually, you know, messed with it in that way. Okay? There you go. All right, that was the Q&A segment. Now back to more videos. Here we go.
All right, so this is simultaneously really impressive and really frightening at the same time, and it's hitting me in ways that I didn't really expect.
I think I know what he's going to talk about.
Do you remember Will Smith eating spaghetti? Do you remember when this was what AI-generated videos looked like? Remember when we said, okay, this AI stuff is cool and all, but clearly there's a long way to go before there's any need for concern. Well, welcome to the future, people, because this is also an AI-generated video. And so is this, completely synthesized out of thin air by computers. This one too. This is not real.
Wow.
Absolutely ridiculous how far we've come in literally 1 year. This does feel like another ChatGPT, DALL-E moment for AI, and maybe I'm overreacting because, okay, I'm a video creator, so an AI that's actually doing my job, maybe that feels a little more threatening, so I'm particularly impressed by it, but also this stuff is really good. So today, Sam Altman and OpenAI announced a new model called Sora, and it can generate full up to 1 minute video clips from just text input. So the same way DALL-E was able to understand our text input and turn it into a photorealistic or stylized image or whatever you want, same thing with Sora, but now since it's videos, it also needs to understand how all these things like reflections and textures and materials and physics all interact with each other over time to make a...
Is it though, or is it just doing composite stuff? Because when you ask AI to make pictures right now, it literally just takes other pictures and mishmashes them all together, right? So is that really what it's doing, or is it just taking video pretty much illegally from everywhere on the internet and just smashing it together to make its own video? I'm curious.
Reasonable looking video. And of course, right away, there's a bunch of examples on their website that are crazy. Now, before I show you these, I just need you to keep this in mind. You're about to watch a bunch of AI generated videos.
Okay.
And you know that you're about to watch a bunch of AI generated content. So your brain, you're already looking for this stuff, and it's not perfect. You will find imperfections, but not everybody who sees AI generated content on the internet knows to be looking for that.
It's just to give perspective of what he's saying. Right now on social media, there is a ton of AI generated ads. Ridiculous amounts of AI generated ads. They're all fake. They have celebrity faces on them. There's videos that it's just completely falsified video. And they're acting like, oh, here's a product use. Here's a testimonial. Here's this. It's rampant. It's only just started in the last, like, month. But I see it all over social media. I'm like, wow, this is, like, getting bad already. And this just started.
So also keep that in mind. This is also the worst that this technology is going to be from here on out.
Right.
So, okay, here's one of the videos. There's no audio to any of these clips, but the prompt for this one is a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears...
So just looking at it, right? There's definitely some perspective issues. Like you can tell that the street light behind her that's reddish it looks too close for the distance that it is. And it's not in perspective to some of the buildings behind her. So you can see there's some perspective issues. I have no idea if any of the text on the buildings is real. That's been an issue with AI, that it generates text, but the text is wrong or has errors. So maybe all this, because it's all in Japanese or kanji or whatever, maybe it's wrong and I don't know. Can't really tell yet. Some of the people as they walk, if you look in the background, it almost looks like they're gliding rather than naturally walking. That's what I'm initially noticing, so let's continue.
There's a black leather jacket, a long red dress, and black boots. This video is already miles ahead of where we were. It has accurate lighting, it has materials, it has skin tones, movements, it even has reflections all over the place. Now, of course, if you look at it for more than about 10 seconds very closely, there are lots of giveaways.
Yeah.
Like this dude in the background kind of looks like he's gliding
Yeah,
in
I
a
told
weird
you.
way.
Instead
the
of
frame
walking.
rates and the reflections in the water are for some reason lower than the rest of the video. The camera movement overall is just a bit inconsistent, and it just, I don't know, it just kind of feels a little bit off. But then again, this is where we were 1 year ago. So just keep that in the back of your head for all this. Okay, how about this one? This is another one which has a long prompt about a camera following behind a white vintage SUV with a black roof rack as it speeds up a steep dirt road. This is also, again, really good. It kind of looks a
I don't see a single flaw with this. Do you? I literally don't see a single flaw with this. I see nothing wrong at all. It looks perfect to me. Maybe there's some smoke or something out of the back that doesn't look real. This just looks, assuming you could get this shot this smooth, right? Like you get a drone maybe following the vehicle perfectly. This looks real to me.
little more video gamey because of how rock solid the drone footage is.
That's what I just said.
Clearly very usable. Here's another one. A litter of golden retriever puppies playing in the snow. Their heads pop in and out of the snow, covered in it. It's so good. It feels like the physics of the fur and the ears and everything with the snow flying around in slow motion is incredible.
It looks
I've looked
CGI
through
though.
all of the sample videos on OpenAI's website, and clearly these are the hand-picked best ones that they chose to share, where they just put in some text and then get a video and don't modify it. But there's really impressive stuff in there. Some of it has humans, some of it doesn't. Some of it is more realistic feeling, like the truck driving one, but some of them are more video gamey or more stylized. A lot of it is slow motion. I just have to say, how insanely fast these models are improving is genuinely, like, that's the shocking part. Like, I remember not even that many months ago.
It's fascinating, but it's scary, right? Because how long will it be if it's actually progressing this quick? How long until we have no idea what's real and what's not on the internet, right? Right? Like, at least for me, here's the deal. You know that the content you see on my channel is genuine, right? If you see me in another channel saying something stupid, you know it's probably taken out of context. You know it's probably misedited. If they used AI to make me say something on someone else's channel, I can't be held accountable because it's not on my channel. They could have made it up, right? But what I would say is, like, on social media, people don't give a fuck. Really. On social media, no one gives a fuck. They just believe everything. So you could have a clip of someone doing fucked up stuff, and people will be like, oh, that's real. But it's not. Never really happened. Where's the source, right? Can you prove it's real? I mean, at some point, how are we going to even prove that, like stuff that's used for proving crimes or innocence is real if AI can do this good of a job of creating fake stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's scary, is it not? And this is what all of those authors, those sci-fi authors, wrote about, you know, in the last 100 years. That if technology advances too fast, that now it's going to change society in very bad ways, right? We have to make sure that the technology doesn't advance so fast that it's unstoppable and will ruin our ways that society works. We're getting to this AI thing. We're starting to hit a time now where this is going to start hurting stuff if we're not careful. Like, who's regulating all of this? Why is there no regulation on AI right now? Why are these companies able to just do whatever they want? I'm a little confused, right? I don't know, man. All right, let's continue.
DALL-E 3, really, really high end. And you could always still find something off about it. Like, especially if you ask it for something like a photorealistic image of a human, something about like the hands or the ears would always just be a little bit off. Never mind the physics. But even this video here is crazy at first glance. The prompt for this AI-generated video is a young man in his 20s is sitting on a piece of a cloud in the sky reading a book. This one feels like 90% of the way there for me. Like, it's beyond the uncanny valley of like Apple's personas, which are actually based on humans. This is a made-up person, I mean, his eyes are kind of weird, and the motion of the pages in the book are kind of odd. And yeah, obviously he's in a cloud, and that's a giveaway, but like the lighting and the shadows and the skin tones, and then all
Looks
the realism
real.
of the textures
Looks
on the shirt
real to
and the way
me.
the shirt and the pants move and the hair, they're all really impressive.
Yeah.
And then for this one, they typed in a movie trailer featuring the adventures of the 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt desert, cinematic style, shot on 35mm film.
What the hell?
And the close-ups of his face, the fabrics on the helmet, the film grain through every shot, and the cinematic style, this is one of the most convincing AI-generated videos I've ever seen. Minus maybe the weird physics of that dude walking.
The
kind of
walking
in
looks
fast
fake.
motion.
Everything
so
else
Sam
looks
Altman,
good.
if you follow him on
Yeah.
Twitter, he's going through a whole bunch more of like people's requests and posting a bunch more generated videos. And so if you want to check out his profile,
Wow.
you can see those. But
All right, I mean, we've seen enough. We're going to go one more video before we split this part. But, man, that technology is advancing to the point where, again, how are we going to discern? I mean, this is just within a little bit, a year, like he said. In another year, how insane will this be? Will it be making fucking professional movies with this? AI-generated movies? Right? Why would it be scary if someone copied me? I literally just explained to you why you know to trust that anything that's on my channel is real. Anything that you don't see on my channel can easily be said is faked. So it's that simple. And that's why it's hilarious when you get these idiots, the detractor channels and stuff. It's like, you don't understand that they all edit that shit to make me say and do things I never even did. It's so ridiculous, right? And then they present it as fact when it's not. My favorite is when they mistitle a video completely for something I never even said in the video, and then they say, oh, no, it's in there, and then it's never in there, but they don't care. Everyone just clickbaits it. But anyway, no, I'm not worried about me and my content. I'm worried about, like in a court of law, how do you prove what's real and what's not? What's AI-generated evidence? What's not? What really happened? What didn't? How do you prove it when it's all faked like this, right? And art in general can be massively negatively affected if you're just letting computers slam shit together that it just made a big collage from internet content, right? Because that's all that is. The AI is taking content that it found on the internet, mishmashing it on the fly and generating these videos. It's not original content. It didn't make those things. It took it from everywhere else and made a composite of it. So it's pretty messed up. I don't know what we're going to do about this. It is concerning to me. We'll have to see how this advances. All right, one more video before we break here.
Hello, everybody. I'm the Batman.
And I'm the Joker.
And today,
We're gonna go on Omegle.
hey,
Hey, Taco.
you want to see what's under this cape? Nope, you don't. I am the Bat. You look stunned. You look stunned. Shut that dog up! You really laughing at a billionaire right now? I can buy you bitches! I bought my party glasses! Oh, fuck! I look like an asshole! What up, girl? You wanna sit on Batman's lap? He's been on it too much. I'm tired of that gay shit.
Oh my god, Joker, high five.
No! Don't encourage this dickbag!
Fuck Batman.
Ring around the
Fuck Batman,
rose.
kill
Oh, God.
him.
Shut the fuck up, Robin!
Oh my god.
So what is Omegle? Is it by the way, 8 years ago? Oh, this is old. This is 9 years old. I'm assuming Omegle is one of these shuffle video websites where you would just join and randomly get paired with someone and you have no clue what you're about to see on the other side. Is that what that is? And also because it's 9 years old, that's probably why the quality is so low, right? Like today, this would be like full HD on both ends or whatever. It's a video chatting app like Chat Roulette. You chat with strangers. Okay. I've never seen this before. I don't know anything about Omegle. Omegle. Yeah. This is an AI generated video. Oh, good. Good. Oh, that's good to know. AI generation. like, here's the thing. It's funny, I guess, for a second, but already I'm kind of like, all right, I've seen enough. You know what I mean? Like, it was funny for like 10 seconds, and then I'm like, okay, it already wore off. He's acting like a stupid Batman. He's screaming at the top of his lungs for no reason, right? Like, so, yeah, people are saying half the time it's like really bad content, like adult content when you go on it, so you wouldn't want kids on there. And half the people on there were kids. Did you not see? Half the people they got matched with were kids. And you're like, yeah, so that's a really good place to send your kids to, right? All right, let's split the part. And guys, we got one part left for DSP versus the internet. Thanks for being a great audience, and I will see you in part 6.